Every 4 years, the world stops to watch a reality TV show called the US presidential election. We argue about red versus blue. We debate policy. We believe that if we just vote for the right person, the economy will change. This is a carefully constructed illusion. While you are watching the stage, the real power is operating in the dark. The engine of the global economy, the United States dollar, is not controlled by the president. It is not controlled by Congress. It is controlled by a private corporation that answers to no one, the Federal Reserve. For 113 years, this institution has had one job: to transfer wealth from the working class to a dynastic banking cartel. To do this, they use a rotating cast of characters. The Fed chairs. We are told they are economists. History shows they are guard. We are going to walk down the hall of portraits, expose the lineage, the agenda, and the final endgame of who actually run the world. To understand the puppet, you must understand the hand inside it. The story begins in 1910, on a private resort off the coast of Georgia called Jekyll Island. 6 men gathered in secret. They represented the houses of Morgan, Rockefeller, and the European banking dynasties of Rothschild and Warburg. They didn't want competition, they wanted a monopoly. They wrote the Federal Reserve Act. It was a masterstroke of branding. It wasn't federal, and it had no reserves. It was a mechanism to privatize profit and socialize loss. This is Eugene Mayer, one of the early architects. He wasn't just a banker. He was the bridge between Lazard Freres and the media empire of the Washington Post. From the very first day, the system was designed to be impenetrable. The families provided the capital, and the media provided the cover story. They established the rules. The banks print the money, the government borrows it at interest, and you, the taxpayer, pay the bill. Fast forward to 1979. The dollar is dying. Inflation is rampant. The system needs a reset. Enter Paul Volcker. History calls him a hero who slayed inflation, but look closer. Volcker was the hammer. He raised interest rates to 20% to crush the independence of the American middle class. High rates destroyed small businesses. They destroyed the family farm. They destroyed the unions. But do you know who survived? The massive accumulations of dynastic wealth. Volcker proved that the Fed is willing to burn the village to save the castle. He ensured that debt became the primary chain of the American worker. He cleared the board so the next phase could begin: the bubble. Once the middle class was broken, they needed to be seduced. Enter Alan Greenspan, the maestro. For 19 years, Greenspan whispered into the ear of the market. He lowered rates. He deregulated derivatives. He engineered the greatest illusion of wealth in history: the housing bubble. He told the world that risk had been eliminated. He told the working man that his house was an ATM machine. But behind the scenes, he was executing the Warburg blueprint. Financialize everything. Turn every home, every student loan, and every credit card into a tradable asset for Wall Street. He wasn't building an economy. He was building a casino where the house had rigged the dice. When the casino inevitably crashed in 2008, the mask came off. Ben Bernanke didn't save the economy. He saved the cartel. He printed trillions of dollars to buy the toxic waste from the bank's balance sheets. He took your future tax dollars and gave them to the very institutions that caused the crash. This was the greatest wealth transfer in human history. Then came Janet Yellen. Under her watch, the line between the government and the banks dissolved completely. The Treasury and the Fed merged into a single entity. The revolving door started spinning so fast, you couldn't tell who was a regulator and who was a banker. She prepared the ground for the final act. Which brings us to today. Jerome Powell. Do not be fooled by his soft landing speeches. Powell is the executioner of the cash economy. His job is to oversee the transition to the digital prison. Under his tenure, the Fed is integrating with BlackRock's AI systems. They are preparing the central bank digital currency. He destabilized the regional banks, to force consolidation into the Big Four. His term ends in May 2026. He is setting the explosives for the final demolition, the controlled collapse of the fiat dollar, to make way for the new programmable system. The faces change, the political parties flip, but the dynasty remains. They have a 100-year head start. They wrote the rules, they own the printer. If you are betting on a politician to save you, you haven't been paying attention. The only person coming to save you is you. You need to understand the mechanics of the trap to find the exit. I have mapped the entire history, the mechanism, and the 2026 Endgame in the architect's playbook. Don't study the puppet. Study the blueprint. All the intelligence briefings in the description below.